What's up YouTube, this is TheAlchemicMagician. Today we're talking about Mind Crush. Alright, so the card has two uses. First, let's read it off. Declare one card name. If your opponent has a declared cards in his or her hand, discard all the discarded declared cards to the graveyard. Otherwise, you randomly discard one card from your hand. Now this card has two uses. One in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, and second in Dark Worlds. Let's discuss Dark Worlds. So the reason why Dark Worlds can use this is because they can either flip it over and use it for its competitive use, which we're going to talk about later, or they can just discard a card due to an effect. Now, as everyone knows, Dark World cards cannot be discarded to the graveyard and get their effects from costs, such as cards like Graceful Charity, Dark World Dealings, Gates to the Dark World, and Mind Crush work for this. However, some examples of costs would be Monster Reincarnation and cards like that. Now, its competitive use is this. If your opponent searches out a card from their deck to their hand, you can just flip over Mind Crush and then see their entire hand and all the cards and the card they just searched, as well as cards with the same name, go to the graveyard. Now, the reason why this card is so amazing is because it's a trap card. It's a spell speed 2. You can chain it right after your opponent searches, thus their search would be useless, and all those cards would go directly to the graveyard. Now, Dark World players can also use this, but considering they fail, it's fine because they'll get their discard and they'll get the effect from the discard. Now, let's consider the card advantage in this. You flip over one trap card, and let's just say it's successful. First, you get to see your opponent's entire hand, and second, at least one or more cards are sent to the graveyard from that hand. And if you fail, you only have to discard a card just to see their hand. Now, that's a pretty amazing effect, considering you're able to anticipate what they're about to do, and they never get to see your hand, unlike cards like Drag Down into the Graveyard. Now, the reason why Mind Crush has been in so many competitive decks is for that competitive use. Next to Thunder King Ryo, Mistake, and other cards that prevent the opponent from searching and adding to their deck, and sometimes you, discarding that exact card that they just searched is the next best step. That's why Mind Crush is a good card. Not only do you get to see your opponent's hand, but you also get to discard a couple cards, either you or your opponent. Now let's check out what happens after someone gets Mind Crushed. That's fine. I activate this. I'm calling Infestation Pandemic. That's game. I hope you have enjoyed today's video discussion on Remember to like the video if you want me to move on to top 16 and give you guys another amazing discussion video. And, of course, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, which Underworld667 will gladly link below, I'm sure. And as always, Alchemic signing out.